call ourselves to order. Hi, we're in order now. So we're missing, let's see here. Kathy is out tonight, so I'm going to take some notes, just write down who we've got here. And I go back here, so it's, what do you call it? No, Kathy, Joy, and Donna. All right, so starting with the review and approval of previous meeting minutes, we sent those out a little while back. What do you call it? Kathy's getting really good at like doing them while we're doing the meeting, so they come out like super fast, if not like instantaneously, which I think is a great thing, and I think it probably makes it easier for her too, because it probably nags on her back. But we got those out to people. Does anybody have any comments, adjustments, or anything that needs to be done?
No.
Okay. Cool, we're done there. Building maintenance. So a couple different text messages to a few people, and I sent a few emails, I think, as well, with people buying coffee just to get it out to everybody in a one-way fashion. We've got some good stuff going on. Our back hallway was painted, which for those of you who've been around for a long time is pretty awesome. It was nasty and gross and all that stuff. So the back hallway was painted, the back room was painted. The front hallway that had the big peeling paint behind door number 11 was painted. So now when the lights are on, you can't see big curls of paint. I think the most impressive one for those who've seen the pictures, I think should be everybody pretty much, was the back hallway. It's like a clean room now. So very excited about that. I'll throw that out there for Donna. You haven't seen it, but I think Joy, have you? Oh, actually, everybody's seen just pictures. Nobody's been there, right?
Right. No, I think I've seen the pictures.
Right. It looks awesome. It's kind of funny, been in and out with a lot of people lately, and people come by and I'm like, hey, let me show you the back old dingy hallway. I want to show you the paint job we have here. They're like, yeah, everything's great out front. I'm like, no, let me show you the back hallway. So that's good. I've got the painting out to him. Wasn't too bad. I want to say, it was like $5,000 in finish up painting across the rooms. The back thing was like around $2,000. The back room was $2,000. That was $4,000. And then there was touch up. And then he did countertops, which came in, I thought, extremely economically at like $384. Now, Jamie had primed and done a bunch of stuff to those, but considering the potential size of the headache and just being able to get somebody for an extra couple $100 getting that painted, and I think it looks, it looks as good as you can expect for a couple $100. So that's done. Any comments, additional comments other than, hey, I saw the pictures?
So
Okay,
what color did you do the counters?
They are high gloss black.
Okay, cool.
And so it's there's the whole black and white motif thing that we had going. And then we had gotten the counters primed by the last couple shows. And then it was kind of like we were tired. And he was coming in to finish up the stuff, and I just said, all right, let's do this, and he added it on. And
No, I know that part. I know there was some discussion in the last meeting whether it should be black or white, so I was just curious. I'm sure either one would look good.
it came out gloss black. It looks pretty good.
Good.
I think, for sure. Also, we had additional lights installed. We had originally budgeted for 50 lights up in the sky there. And when we ordered them, as we were playing the budget game, going back and forth, making sure we'd have enough money, we lowered it down to 40. When the orders came in, only 37 showed up. So since the budget money opened back up and there wasn't a problem there, we made it in on budget. I added in the 13 lights per the original plan. Ordering lighting is very difficult. It seems like you should just be able to go, hey, Amazon, give me the thing, but we have very specific configured lights, very specific fixtures. They're just-in-time manufacturing. I mean, literally, I think they put in the order and they make them custom for everybody. So what should be a simple process took, 3-4 months, which is what it took the first time through. Except the first time through, we bought $17,000 worth of lights, not, like $1,500. But it takes the same amount of time. So Rich, our lighting guy, came in and he went up in the sky. We put in 9 out of the 13 lights. It's got it to the point where the wash lights, the sort of utility strip lights, those pretty much don't need to be on for any show at this point, especially with the extra candle power. And if we have any dark spots, we've got a couple more lights. We can move stuff around. He also refocused the lights out on all the outside walls. So for Some of the arts collaborative stuff that we had, where we had stuff in the interior, we had lights pointing inwards. And so we moved some of those and just sort of focused them on the wall. So there's no dark spots anywhere, pretty sure anywhere in the gallery. And the front section by the new painted countertops, also we added like 4 lights over there. And so that lit that all up, and it looks really good. So that's good. All right, so that's lighting. Ongoing events review. Bring the Good show's going on now. We've been open up 2 nights. So the show's been really good. I want to say it was like 80 people, I think, the first night, and somewhere in that ballpark, 50 to 80 people the second night. What we've done there is, so there's somebody that sort of greets you when you come in the door, and then you kind of go through, and the setup's looking really good. But we've added meet the artist nights. So last Friday there was 2 people there. There was a person doing like a live drawing, and another photography guy. I'm not sure what his live thing was, but basically they had the 2 things. And the idea is that since it's a bunch of Friday nights in a row, in order to sort of layer and keep the interest going, you've got the art show always. And then we've talked about putting music on top of that and other stuff. And Meet the Artist is just an additional attraction. So you've got the regular art show going on, and then you've got the fan base for whoever the Meet the Artist people are. So they've got their friends, their family and stuff. Is sort of like a guaranteed draw. So I think the combination of that had 2 really strong nights. I think we're actually canceling this week because of the storm. And we had an email about it like this afternoon. And I have like 20 emails I haven't read. And basically it was just like, hey, what do you think? I'm kind of cool with just staying open and that it's not going to be too big of a deal, but that's just me. And so since I think that their group's a little cautious, they had really 2 strong nights. This is, new people and new stuff going on. It just makes sense. So let's err on the side of caution. And the idea between the whole January and February and the March and April show being, weekly, week to week, is that we sort of expect that weather is going to screw some things up. So this is sort of an expected thing. So I'm pretty sure if it hasn't already been canceled by consensus, it'll be canceled in the morning. So we won't do it this Friday, but then we'll be back the following Friday. There's 3 more weeks of Meet the Artists. So the people that were going to be this Friday will be the following Friday, and so on. So each night that the event is open, there'll be an additional layer of, meet 2 different artists that are there. I think the show's doing, like I said, it's doing well. People are going through. We've got, there's info out there. And, I think the important thing to remember, as we sort of become, regionalized, is a lot of the different groups that we work with have names that associate with towns, but, the Wakefield group, the Linfield group, the Reading group all have cross-pollination. And so, the Linfield group has a whole bunch of people from Wakefield. The Wakefield group has people from other places, Reading is so forth. And so something that I talked to them about, and that's, as we sort of like try to figure out how to work with new people and just make sure that everybody gets an equal shot, is just, really, especially in our next press release that's coming out, just signifying that all of these groups are open to everybody. They don't discriminate against everybody. So whether you're the Linfield art thing, the Wakefield art thing, the Reading art thing, or whatever, they're open and cross-pollinated between everybody in the region. So there's not really a fine line of, hey, you moved to Linfield, hey, you moved to Wakefield, you can't participate. So as a cultural exchange, the idea is that sort of we try to get everybody to play nice. And I think that more of that's happening, especially as we have new faces coming through and people with different talents. Also had I had Carrie Mack, who we had in a couple of years ago, and I invited Joyce Wood in for a tour. She's a popular photographer coming up, and we talked about some other things that we might do. And I'm trying to think, there's 1 or 2 other people that we brought in, but all in all, a lot of good energy, a lot of people, everybody sees the renovations. And then of course we've got, eye candy on the wall. We had Aaron Scarpello, Wakefield High School graduate, put in a huge painting. It's like 8 feet wide of like a turtle on the wall. That's been up on our social media and publicized out there. And so that's pretty cool looking. And then Andy Levine from the Wakefield Arts Collaborative is also out in the front room, which I'm trying to come up with a name for. I was calling it the Salon at one point, and I got my head bit off by a few people, but I don't know. The one we call the gift shop. But Andy's in the gift shop as well as Aaron Scarpello, and then some of our other friends from Linfield gather, throughout the gallery. All of our stuff's painted. So I think all in all, as far as what's going on now, things are looking really good. We've got to show up. We've got many more weeks of the show. No, 3 more weeks of the show, and working with sort of tailing into stuff coming up. Working with Tracy, who's not here now. Her parents' like 48th wedding anniversary is tonight, so she's going to be either late or not at the meeting. Tracy, Anne Marie, and a few other people. As far as the details on that, the call to artists on that went out. I'm not really even looking at the agenda right now. I'm just saying things that are coming to my mind. But the call to artists for the next show has gone out, and it was sent to Wakefield Arts Collaborative. It was sent to the general public. It's been on the town website. It's been on the town social media, as well as our website, our social media, and it's also been sent over to Reading and publicized in groups in Stoneham and Melrose. I don't know what that's going to get us for entries. I just know that it's out there, and there's an incentive on there for priority wall space. We don't really know what that means, but it really just is trying to get people to sign up sooner rather than later. And it's priority wall space if you get signed up by, I think, this Friday. It went out last week. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Now, number 3, ongoing events, bring the good. I just talked a whole bunch about that. And then promotion with the call to artists for Art and Edibles, item number 4 on our agenda. Does anybody have any questions, comments, observations? Joy, did you come down last week? I didn't see you, but I was like in and out. I see her. I can't hear her. Her mouth's moving. Uh-oh.
No, I was gonna come Friday.
Yeah, I was
Aha,
too.
you're coming.
Well,
So you're gonna
not
come this
anymore.
Friday?
I'll come next Friday. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I actually had kind of plans. I mean, are you sure we want to cancel just because of ice or?
Well, I mean, I can, I know the guy that runs the place, and what do you call it, a few other people that work there, so I'm sure I can get you in.
No, I mean, if we need to cancel, that's fine, but it's like,
Yeah,
okay. We do live in New England.
it's true. It's true.
But if that just makes it easier, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, so I haven't been yet, and I was planning on coming on Friday.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Yeah, I think you'll dig it. There's cool stuff on the walls, and I think like you'll notice like that the lights got better and a few other things have gotten better. Little by little. And like I said, this is stupid things. I'm taking people and showing them the back hallway because that's the thing I'm the most excited about right now. And like, hey, come look at this obscure thing that's not in the main room. Okay, cool. So that's number 4. Number 5. Number 5 is actually gifts and donations. Sort of just one that's open there. Actually, one is there's a piano floating out there that we don't really need to talk about tonight. It's a Steinway piano, expensive piano, like a $25,000 piano that we need to work on some logistics if it's going to be possible. We'll call that developing. But I did talk to Bob DeBella of the Savings Bank a couple times. We had a few phone calls, went back and forth, trying to get private funding for potential sound system and some other stuff that we were thinking about doing. We had the guy from Onset Music spec out our place for a PA, as well as some sound dampening equipment so that we could bring in Onset or any other music schools. If we had a PA, they can send us musicians that can just plug in at our events. So if we have like an event like we have now, we have Meet the Artist going on, but we could also have the school just send us, various styles of music that would complement things that we have. So to do that requires a PA, maybe some custom stage building and some other things. I have a sheet on this if anybody wants to look at it of just sort of ideas, shooting anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000. And I've been talking to Bob about potentially the Savings Bank funding it, maybe it being a Savings Bank sound system. The process there is they've got a regular sort of donation way that they've helped us most of the time. And then they have sort of a longer process with their board when you get into, more money than a couple $1,000s. So if we were to go for 5 or 10, the process there is to give them a presentation. He's totally on board with he loves the idea, but we need to get their board interested in the whole deal. And at this point, he's basically said that there's definitely opportunity there. But the next cycle is really to just do a presentation to the Savings Bank Board, which meets twice a month. There's 2 different meetings, similar but slightly the same that it could be presented at. It would probably take 2 or 3 meetings at least to get a commitment after introducing the idea. And, they're interested. It's just a matter of process at this point. So that's for like a sound system, gifts and donations kind of thing. Not in gifts and donations, but still in financial stuff. We have $75,000 of ARPA money and $25,000 of accessibility money. And not on the agenda, but just came in right before the meeting. A person that was on our agenda before that we've been talking to, an architectural firm called KMA Associates, which specializes in accessibility funding, sent in a proposal. So there's some money and some transactions out there, nothing really to be detailed tonight, but that we're working on. But the point is, for a sound system and/or stage type stuff and the things that we were talking about under gifts and donations, that's separate funding, which would be sort of private through the savings bank and/or any other banking partners or community partners that we got involved. So just the source of the funding is different. The stuff for the building, paying architects, paying people to look at our walls in the basement, stuff like that, that comes out of state funding. But for things like sound systems and stuff that's more, production oriented, we're looking to get that private funded. Does anybody have any questions on that? All right, cool. Operations guideline. We basically just need to schedule another meeting on this one. If somebody has a time that they specifically are interested in doing that, it's on my schedule to do like in the next month or 2, based on availability. I don't know, Joy, if you have certain availability that would work for you, but we need to schedule another meeting.
Okay, when do you want to do that?
I don't have a time right now.
Okay.
And I'll do it again also.
I would say, I'll give it some think time, but if you have a date or something coming up where you're like, hey, this Sunday would be good or something like that, a text message to me or something like that would definitely probably be a good activator to get me to focus in on it. Any other questions on that?
I'll
Right,
work on
future-
it as well, Chris. Can we
Okay.
meet at the at Ace again like we did before?
Yeah, absolutely.
And are you saying that Sunday is good for you? Is that what you're saying?
I did not say that.
Okay.
I would say let's take it offline and I can take a look and see if Sunday is good for me, but I don't know my calendar really beyond Friday night at the moment.
All right.
It's just one of these, it's just more like one of these things that we have to get done that's in the pile, or at least worked on. Art and Edibles event review, talk to town a little bit, looking to send out a letter to Main Streets and Chamber of Commerce, just talking about the promotional opportunity that we've already sort of been discussing with the town administrator and Aaron. That is pending. I need to check to see who signed up. The PR has gone out for that. So really nothing more to report on that. There's a whole bunch of sort of special event, little layered things in there. That's all just sort of developing by the day. But all the bones of it are in there, and that the call to artists is out there. Layer 1 is we fill the walls, and then we worry about all the other stuff. Although we've already started worrying about all the other stuff. But without the walls filled, there's no event. So we got to get the walls filled, get that process going, check in, see who's got that. Hopefully adding some people. I know Tracy's going to help out. And potentially some people that have been helping out on the current show might be available to help out. We need to schedule, once we sort of see what the pieces are coming in, a hanging team and people to organize how the layout's going to be. And that'll be stuff that all happens in like early March. And so that's sort of fluid, and we're looking for people who want to, be doing that kind of stuff. So definitely, that's there. We're just waiting for the signups, and then we'll figure it out. We have like 2 or 3 weeks to do the layout. I will say that in this last show, the amount of people that came in to help with the layout got done. Like they're like, oh, like, we can get it done 2 or 3 hours. And I was like, 2 or 3 hours, forget it. We're going to be back a couple days, by the time we get it. And they got it done in 2 or 3 hours. There was 25 of them.
Oh God, how did that go?
It went fine. 5 guys
Wow.
over here, 5 guys over here, 5 guys over here.
All right.
Maybe not 25, but there was like 20. There was a whole bunch of people. It was a crowded place, two ladders going. And
Mhm.
you know, it was like I said, it was like 3-4 hours, but I mean, I was just like, no way, this is never gonna happen. And then I just kind of just kept my mouth shut and just stayed out of people's way. And you know,
Nice.
answered questions, and here's the bathroom, and yeah, you need a water, and yeah, I can get you a screwdriver. Yeah. What do you need? That was what I did.
Great.
And I think it looks pretty good. When you come down and see it, I think you'll agree. Uh,
So just to speak to that, the high school is going to participate, and I'm not going to have them register on the site.
okay.
We'll do that on the side. It's probably going to be the ceramics, so they'll need a table or two.
Okay. Oh, is that art and edibles, or just like for the high
Art
school
and-
shows?
No, art and edibles.
Oh, okay, great.
But I'm not going to have each kid hit the registration. It's just
I
going to
got
be a group. Like we're going to forego that. That's tedious. But
I
we'll
understand.
have they, and I've watched my pronouns there. They will have labels and everything, and and maybe a table or two. I've also thrown it out for any other artwork besides the ceramics work, but we'll see what comes up, but we'll figure that out. That's a moving part that I know they'll be part of.
That's
And
great.
we'll nail that down.
So 2 tables for sure.
I'm
Or
thinking
one.
too, well, I mean, come on.
You guys,
Yeah,
do you
I'm
want like
thinking
the
too.
front room, or do you want?
I
like,
know, they, like I said, the pronouns, they will go wherever they go.
Okay.
And whenever you involve them, they bring in a lot of people. So, yeah. So, yeah, count on that, but I'm not going to have them register individually.
That's fine. That makes sense.
I already started my painting. Here it is right here. Oh, right behind me. Cravings, it's called.
Nice.
Ah,
I registered too. Am I the only one who registered?
I haven't looked at the list. I'm on.
Okay.
It's on an email thing and whatever. I got to
I'm on it. My head's in front of it.
I went through before the form got out. I kind of wanted to enhance the form more, but we had to get it out. So, but it did the job, I think. Well, it did the job the last couple of years, so it'll have to do. What about high school shows?
You're gonna go?
Or like that's a May thing, right? That's a May thing. Like there's usually like a high school show, maybe an acapella thing, and then
May for the AP, and then June for the JV.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now, is that still a thing?
I think so. I mean, we've been kind of we're out of step here, but yes.
Do you want me to like put together an email with some people to get people talking about it specifically, or
Who would those people be? You
That's
mean
what I-
you'd start talking to them?
whoever? I don't know.
No.
I mean, I don't.
No.
what do you call it?
No,
got it.
I'll still be that liaison.
All right, cool.
We'll do May AP.
Okay.
We'll do May AP.
Do you think that they'd want to stay up, keep the, that stuff that it gets up there is fabulous, like all these shows and the extended viewing time? Do you think they'd want, longer time? We usually do a couple
Wouldn't
of
that be
days,
nice? I don't know. I'll check into it.
because I think that's sort of with the new ways that things have been going. It's like,
Yes.
give them a month. I mean, and right now, I think after is art and edibles, and there's like the art blooms thing, and then basically whatever you want. So we just got to look at that section, and especially if we do a little workshop thing on the other stuff, we just got to look at the calendar, just circle up big sections of dates to give people, so everybody knows which dates they get. Cool. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So that we get that. Other ideas that I'm just going to throw out there. Like I said, I had Joyce Wood and Carrie Macron. They did a private tour of the current show that's up there. Carrie Mack was in our lake show a couple years ago. A lot of great photos, a lot of bird stuff, nature and wildlife. It seems to be like kind of like both of their things. And then Joy came down and she's got stuff. She put up an eagle today. She's posting a lot of stuff and she's super active in it. I said to both of them, you know, kiddingly, not kiddingly, we don't have a summer show. So if you want to do a show, and I hear that Joyce is a fabulous watercolor person as well and can fill stuff up. So, and I've thrown it out to them. That doesn't mean that they're going to do a show, but right now we basically have a whole bunch of stuff, but then come the sort of the end of June and when the high school people finish, we've got availability in the summer, which, you know, we need to fill. And I think at this point, you know, in the past when our air conditioning was broken and we weren't updated, you know, we would just sort of take the summer off and come back in September. But now that we have full on air conditioning and a full on water facility, we need to book the summer. Like I said, I breathed it out to them, but if there's other people, other opportunities and other partnerships that people know about that want to, you know, bring forward, you know, now's the time because we've got plenty of time to talk about it before that stuff happens. So we can get at least a good 90, 120 days, you know, lead time on whatever it might be.
So is there, like, if someone has a proposal for a show, the form is on the website?
The form is evolving. We took down the old form because it was outdated.
Okay.
And so at this point, it's sort of, you know, send an email with your pitch. We don't have it advertised per se, because we're still working on, you know, how we're gonna do that. And I think largely a lot of our programming, you know, comes from sort of this group. So, you know, so as opposed to, you know, say like the Civic Center, which is just sort of like, hey, you want to rent this space and whatnot. I think largely we're talking about our programming, and yes, we're absolutely open to input from other people, as long as it falls within our general guidelines, which is really the ability to staff it in a safe way that's accessible to all people in the most reasonable manner.
Okay, so then that circles back to number 6, which is the guideline draft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So we need to get our pause on that. But we'll do it. I hear your dog.
I know he's outside.
So we got, you know, just talking about summer. So Arts Collaborative is doing something in the fall, right? What's your show called? It's something in art. It's something that sounds like the other shows. Art and Animals. That's it, right? Art and Animals, Joy.
I am unclear on that. I
Okay,
don't know.
I've seen it written down in a few places. I don't know what it means.
I didn't go to the last meeting, so I'm out of the loop on that one.
Okay.
But yeah, it sounds right. I'll say, I should lie and say, yeah, oh yeah.
I think that's what I read. It was like Art and Animals, September, some stuff, and lots of other stuff for the fall. So that's good.
So it's the edibles and then it's blooms are the next 2 big ones for Arts Collaborative.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the next item, number 8, is Artist Challenge, which is just a placeholder one, which don't really have any new info on, but that's just the idea that we could have people, you know, paint various buildings in town or encourage specific topics. If we had really sort of 2 things. One would be probably prize money and a reason to sort of get people interested, and 2 would be somebody who wanted to spend the time to chair and, you know, do all the legwork that would be required to do that thing. It stays on here because I think we all thought it's a good idea, and it's just a matter of time and availability of people. So if anybody's interested in looking at that, you know, they can feel free to. Same with the Art on the Highway concept is still the one that's out there. The town has a billboard that is, what do you call it, available for use. It's got certain guidelines. I've done a lot of research in the last sort of 6 months about using various things. With a lot of them come up with Clear Channel about how billboards are being used for community-based art, as well as long-term art shows. There's an art show in Florida going on right now between Tampa and Orlando. It's sponsored by Clear Channel, and it goes across like, or Clear Media. iHeartRadio people, I believe, is their sort of thing together. But they have like a show that literally goes across between Tampa and Orlando both ways. It's like 44 billboards. So you end up sort of seeing an art show as you sort of travel. But the idea of digital storytelling across multiple billboards, I think, is awesome. We don't have multiple billboards. We have one. But if we were to think of something that had reasonable guidelines, it is reasonable to think that we could get access to that board to, just spread more stuff, spread more cool stuff. The rules around it will be challenging, but it is available. So
I mean,
it's-
they're not, the rules aren't insurmountable.
No, absolutely
Um,
not.
Because we got on there one time, but what I find is that if I'm coming into Wakefield from one side or the other, I usually get off the highway before I see the billboard. That's my issue. I guess I have to skip the Linfield exit and go in. Do you know what I mean? Like, because
do.
there's only one.
Right.
But yeah, that's not to say it's not worthwhile, but there's only one.
And yeah, being able to communicate on a billboard is
Always
art form.
good.
Well, you
Yeah.
can't. There's not much you can say. There's only, like you said, there's only a small amount of space and a small amount of time. You're going to get maybe 4 seconds of somebody's eye time. So you got to do it. You got to do it all in that time. So it's not like you're gonna. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just something where it just says the name. Maybe it says the name of the building, or just says the
Keep it on the
Arts
agenda.
District. Yeah,
That's marinating.
cool. Town council update. What do you call it? I have not made their agenda yet. I put in my request. They put in a request or whatever. I'm expecting to get notified at some point.
Who's our liaison?
We don't have a liaison anymore.
Why not?
They decided last year that we didn't need one.
Oh,
It was Jonathan for a while, and then I can't remember. It was Maureen before that,
yeah.
Steve before that.
I mean,
and,
they were all gung ho about it. So now they don't like.
I think there was like 1 year where they made liaisons to like everything and anything. And
Yes, yes.
And then I think they pared it back. I think they went liaison crazing at one point, and then I think they kind of each year they reorganized with a new chairperson. So that chairperson kind of
So
gets
that gung ho, like we need to be a part of everything, kind of petered off.
Well, I mean, I also think it might.
I
be
know
that-
you're not going to answer that, and that's fine. I just wanted to say it out loud. Okay, like where the hell are they?
I think that we give them very quality updates, and that I talk to people, enough times that I don't think that they're I think if anything, I give them more information than they need.
All right, because
and-
that's
and
like
doing
the
good
first
stuff.
note here on my page is, where's my town council? Okay, I'll let it go. It's gone. I'll erase it. It's in pencil.
Okay. So yeah, that just leaves us with unanticipated topics. So nothing too crazy. Does anybody have any unanticipated topics that they want to talk about?
Maybe just that the for the Linfield show,
Yeah.
there seemed to have been a little bit of a dust up about who could be in it and how they could be in it. And I just wanted to say that I think that the method or the way that you would register for the show just changed, like the rules of engagement changed. And that's what I think caused kind of some confusion as to how to be part of the show. So I don't think there was actually any ill will or anything. I just think that people were kind of confused.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other unanticipated topics that you want to say? All right. I think that's it.
Perfect.
Thank everybody for showing up. Please come to the show. Please text me, email me, come on down, schedule a private tour, see what's going on. We definitely need help for Art and Edibles, as that's coming out in like a month and a half. So we're going to have some hanging nights. We're going to need some people around, some receiving nights. We're going to just need people to be, kind of nice and get things signed in. I'm sure we'll make it through it, but it's also good to, extend the request to everybody, because we want all folks to have the opportunity to participate. So
There
with
it
that, I'll
is.
say let's adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second, third, anyone else? Raise hands, everybody. All right, we are
Thank
adjourned.
you.